Welcome to Samuelsdottir channel. Kevin Samuels was truly a truth seeker, and after many years of educating both men and women of all races, but particularly those of African descent, in the art of navigating the ever-complex dating world, he was sadly ripped from our lives as he was called back home to the Almighty in 2022. Some of us, myself included, instinctively recognized the truth of his message. Many found his message rather unpalatable. I am hoping with this channel to make his message that little bit more digestible in a more feminine and softer manner. I hope this helps my sisters in the Black community who saw him as an enemy. Being Black myself, I hope I can bridge that gap. And oh, by the way, my father was also called Samuel, so in a twist of fate, I pay tribute with this channel to my father, who is also where Kevin has gone. I love how the Icelandic have a way of acknowledging someone's daughter in the same way as someone's son. So I appropriate the Icelandic way to find a suitable name for my channel, Samuelsdottir, Samuel's daughter. Enjoy the video.
What to do, more or less. But my thing is this, ladies, my personal opinion is if the people that are telling you what, are giving you advice, if they don't have the support of men, that's the one thing that separates this platform and platforms like mine from most places. It is heavily supported by men. When I'm out in the world, every single day I am stopped by some man says, thank you for what you do. Every single day, Black, Hispanic, Asian, Middle Eastern, other, every day. I get in the Uber, thank you for what you do. I go up to the store, thank you for what you do. Somebody, someone, because these men want women to understand that these men want women, but what you're doing isn't working. And if you keep getting women telling you to be a bad bitch or a boss chick, unless you are making double unless you're making 3 incomes, it won't matter. I find it interesting that we have so many bad chicks and boss bees who are middle average earners. How's that going to work? How's that going to work? So I welcome the conversation to anyone. Why is Lizzo allowed to be Lizzo and Cam Newton's not allowed to be Cam Newton? Let's talk about Future too, because let's talk about Cam Newton, Future, Russell Westbrook, LeBron. Let's get it all out on the table. Let's do it. You'll say stuff about Cam Newton, and I'm talking to the men. Then you'll say stuff about Future. Then you'll say something about Russell Westbrook. Then you'll say something about LeBron. I'm going to tell you guys, you will be best, in my personal opinion, to side on the side of men and stop judging men who are in the spotlight for the choices they made. That doesn't work. It's not. Stop trying to be right all the time and get things to be better an outcome for men. Your audio is disconnected. You know, Russell Westbrook gets a lot of grief for being a simp or this and that. He may have made choices that you don't agree with. But understand something, that man has been married for like 7 years. Get over it. Get over it. Let them people do what they do. Let them people do what they do. Let them do what they do. Find something else to bang on. I know why you say it, though. I get why we say it. but it's an avatar. Your audio's not connected, Miss Owens. You got to connect your audio. Because if you're over, well, let me talk about that more in depth another day. Because I get it, because I understand how dangerous Sierra's prayer is, especially in our community. It makes women think that they can go out and have children with other men and still land a top tier guy. And that's not the message men want sent. I agree. And a lot of guys disagree with Russell Wilson. It's not letting you connect your audio. Well, it asks you to connect when you joined. So I'm going to drop you back into the waiting room and bring you back in. And when you come back in, click join with Wi-Fi. Look, when Channing Crowder said what he said, that Sierra wasn't a guy with Russell, called Russell a square. Look, we as men, especially black men, got to settle this. This whole future archetype versus Russell Wilson archetype, it ain't about the woman. It's about who we think needs to run shit. It's about who we think needs to run shit. And I'm going to tell you something. As a guy on the Russell side, I ain't never lost shit to no street dude. So y'all can pop all that shit out you want to. But we need to settle that as men amongst ourselves, because anyway, hello. Your audio's not connected. Still not connected. I get it. But what do you want from one man? It's almost like when you're a woman at Sierra's level, I got news for you guys. A woman at Sierra's level could have 3 kids. She gonna get, just like Kim Kardashian, she gonna get a man. Y'all are not talking about average women. Rihanna could have 3 kids. Rihanna will always have a man. Elizabeth Taylor, when you are an elite beauty, you will always have a man. A man will always be after you when you're an elite beauty. You could have 8 fucking 8 is enough. What was the name of the family on 8 is enough? 8 is enough family. 8 is enough family. 8 is enough family. 8 is enough family. What was the whatever? The 8 is enough. I think they were the Pattons or something. You will always have a man as an elite beauty. Nicole Murphy will always have men hollering at her. I saw on Instagram the other day, and I damn near slid into her DMs. And I don't like taller women, but damn, she is fine. Y'all need to quit tripping. When you are an 8 or better, you will always have men hollering at you. So y'all can knock this shit off. If Sierra walked her cookies by you, you'd be trying to get in the jar. I hear more cockamamie bullshit on YouTube than most times. You can't be judging women at that level based upon your experience, because I will just roll it out to you. Kim Kardashian, 3 or 4 kids, Pete Davidson. Any woman of any race, when you are an 8 or better, you will always have men. That's it. I didn't say for the men yet, so I don't know why guys are coming over here yet. So, but we can have that conversation. But I think my personal opinion, and I could be wrong, I could be wrong. I'm giving some leeway for people to come in. I could be wrong, but I think why this conversation animates so many black men is because of the Channing Crowders saying shit about Russell Wilson. It's like you're a linebacker, he's a quarterback, and he has the urban brother affect versus Russell Wilson has the corporate brother, and he called him a square. Let me tell you something. Where I come from, squares whoop street dudes. Street dudes, where I come from, talk like they can fight. Where I come from, squares beat that ass. And that's stupid to even have to go that around, but there's respect. See, there's a lack of respect between the so-called urban dude and the squares. And it tends to go this way. You rarely see the squares attacking these way. It's usually this way. That's why this issue becomes so animated. But all I'm saying is it's dumb. It's dumb for men to be attacking this way or this way because women just sit back and benefit from the infighting. It's better for the so-called urban dude and the square to work together to build bigger to get them all. Infighting between men is dumb. That's why I don't beef. It's dumb. You can talk anything, you can say whatever the hell you want to. I've had men call me everything but a child of God. I've had people who don't know me tell you, man, he's a homosexual man and he does this and that. Whatever, say what you got to say. I don't know you. But here's the reason you don't beef, because beefing cuts off opportunities. You can't beef with somebody who don't know you. But the issue is greater, like when I will say something that Cam Newton did say. He's like, I wish I could have also added this. And I think he said it later in the broadcast. He put it in there, he's like, he said, and I co-signed that just like the bad bitch or boss chick, you can't just be a man thinking just because you got money and or resources, and that's going to allow you the ability to run women or to be the man. How about that? And I've said similar. That many times guys think because you have gold, that makes you alpha. No, it just makes you it just makes you well-resourced. There are plenty of well-resourced suckers.
Beta.
But I would love to see a time when you have Channing Crowder archetype and Russell Wilson archetype get in a room together, and then we hammer this shit out. Whatever has to happen. Yeah, talk about it, discuss it, understand what the issue is. Shell, do I need to shoot the fair one? I don't know. But I doubt it. No other group of men sits around denigrating each other in the public about women. I don't see other groups of men saying stuff like that. I don't see Joe Biden talking about, yeah, you know what? You know, Melania is only with Trump because he's got money. He's a real asshole. You get what I'm saying. It's weak. It's weak in my opinion. I get where it comes from, but I'll be glad when we choose to get past it. Because you don't do shit in this world without squares. Let me say that again. As a card-carrying nerd, you don't do shit in this world without squares. Don't make me get up and or the average guys, the laborers, the tradesmen. I better get off my average dudes, man. Y'all gonna learn who butters your fucking bread, man. Hello. The squares, the boring guys, the stable guys, the consistent guys. I'm going to be honest, man. Let's just go there. One of the hardest things to develop when you don't have a strong father figure in a man is consistency. And one of the things I will tell you that in talking to thousands of men over my lifetime is one of the things that when they get in a private loan, a moment with you, they admire the consistency of boring men. But they don't know how to communicate that they want to be as consistent. So, like many things, you disdain what you cannot have. Versus saying, I admire the fact that you're steady as a rock and consistent, and you can do this, 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 this. We just try to say, oh, you boring, you're a square. When you know damn well you wish you could do it. Because it takes. Anyway, let me get you on here. It takes something to be consistent. Hello? I'm all right. How old are you? All right. What do you got for me? What's your input?
Okay, sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, but may I please not be on video as well?
Go ahead.
All right. So my input is that growing up, I noticed that the bad boys would, tease the good guys for being good.
Okay.
Yeah, so my input would be that I agree that, both sides need to get together and decide what standards they're going to have for themselves, and not only for the women that they would like, but just for, just the way that they live their lives also at the same time, so that it's like, unilateral.
I don't understand. The men need to what do the women need to do?
Oh, women. Okay, well, women need to hold themselves accountable. But I was just agreeing with what you're saying in terms of both sides, the square dudes and the other guys. They need to get together and decide what standards are they going to hold themselves with, and also what standards will they hold the women with as well.
Well, back in the day, it's always the square dudes, the bad boys. That was always the class clown and the straight A student. But
yes,
but the girls inevitably back in the day went after the straight A students or the smart guys. They may have kissed the bad boy, but they damn sure didn't make a baby with him because they didn't want to tie themselves to that. So that changed in the mid 90s when women started to choose the quote unquote
the bad boys.
Boy. And you started making babies with them.
That's true.
So you can't hold the selfish gene theory is basically says we do whatever it takes to get our genes into the next generation. And men can sort out amongst each other, but it also is incumbent for women to choose to make babies with the productive men. That's the only way you're going to get more productive men is to when women choose to start making babies with productive, smarter, capable men. Not swag, not sex appeal and charisma.
Yes.
Because if you don't do that, men can sort it out, but men are incentive based. If y'all aren't choosing them, why do you think men are going to do it?
You've got a point. I agree.
So my point is you can't make women be accountable. Women have to choose to pick the boring guy.
Yeah, true. But like I said, growing up, usually the bad guys or bad boys would tease the good guys for being good.
So what?
For getting straight A's and things like that.
So what? No, I get what bad boys did with the good boys. Don't care. You still got to choose them.
True.
Why don't women choose them even though they're getting teased? Why don't you choose them?
I mean, not personally, but I don't know.
Well, that's my point. See, every time I say women need to choose the boring guy, you're like, well, they would get teased. We're not in high school anymore.
That's true.
So why are we talking about what happened in junior high? Because when I was in junior high and high school, I got teased, But when I was graduating from college and them mother suckers was going to work at Sonic, I was teasing them. Look, we didn't. Who are you picking to mate with? And what you're ultimately, here's why I'm pushing, because your answer ultimately gets women off the hook. And I'm not going to.
No.
I'm
Not
going to put women
entirely.
on the hook for picking to mate with the guys who got teased in the elementary or high school.
Mm.
You
I
don't
mean, I
sound
do
like you
agree.
believe
Women
that.
do still need to choose better. No, I do agree.
Well,
There's nothing I don't
why is
agree
it
with.
just a Then why the
No, I agree.
what's the holdback?
No, because no, there's no holdback. Women do still need to choose better. Yes, I do agree with that. And also back then you did have the girls having children with the guys that aren't very suitable at
Uh-huh.
all. And now, yes, they are counting for the mistakes that they made back then.
How old are you?
So there's nothing. I'm 28.
Are you married or are you single?
I am single currently, yes.
Any children?
No, I don't have.
When was your last serious relationship?
Last year.
How long was that?
It lasted 7 months.
7 months.
Because, yeah.
Okay.
Because I was listening to you at the time,
do you
and
want to
you
get
said
married one day?
Yes.
By what age?
I was actually by now.
Okay. But that's not possible.
Yes. How so?
You're not seeing anybody.
Oh no, I was, and then I broke up with him last year, October.
Why?
I don't know. I choose not to say. I don't know. I wasn't expecting the conversation to go. Yeah, I was just agreeing with what you were saying.
Yeah, I'm just asking though, because I'm asking. Here's the thing. I let women give their opinions, right?
Yes.
And you gave your
Oh,
opinion
sorry. Oh my
because
God.
you want to, but then your opinion as a woman, if it does it match what you do?
Okay. No. Okay. Well, last year I was listening to you also at the same time,
Uh-huh.
and you had mentioned that if in 6 months, the conversation isn't, or the relationship isn't gearing towards marriage, you just would rather leave it, because especially if you're a woman that wants to get married.
Yeah.
So that was the advice that I was also taking. So in as much as, yes, the conversations were gearing towards marriage, and he was asking me questions to to do with marriage and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
but by the end of it, it didn't work out. So that's when I left after
Okay.
7 months, because I was like, no, I can't. Let me move on, and because I want to be married, so I was trying to keep it moving.
Okay. That makes sense. I just asked why. So, would you say you were raised to be a wife?
Mm, that I'm not sure. I grew up in an African home, and I was raised to cook and clean, but there wasn't really. I wouldn't say that there was like a male figure besides when
Mm-hmm.
my uncle came in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So, what I want you to pay attention to is that 6 month mark is a couple of things you're missing. One, you start
Mm-hmm.
out dating with the express intent of knowing you want to date to be married.
Yes.
That's one. So if you didn't start out, 6 months is arbitrary. Number one, but number two, you got to be a wife before you start this process.
Yes. So I had been listening to you even from 2020, I
Uh-huh.
believe. So I had already started the processes by then. So when I got into this relationship, I had the mindset, I had the attitude of, agreeing, and also
Uh-huh.
being submissive, and also compromising, and
Yeah.
also, just being that person. So when we broke up, he did mention to the people around us that, he didn't have problems with me. The mistake actually came from his part, because he was
Mm-hmm.
not honest with me fully.
Okay.
So when I yeah so
Well,
Your
here's the
advice
thing.
works.
As long as you, here's the thing is, if when I ask women if they're raised to be wise, because at 28, the pressure is starting to mount.
Yes, I
So,
agree.
so you got to know that the issue is basically on uh, mate selection, not on you. You got to know the issue is if I put you in a room with 50 men that were looking to get married,
Mm-hmm.
and they were husbands, you got to know that the issue is not you. That's number one. And number two,
Yes.
do you live in a major city?
Yes, I do, but I live in an Asian country, so
Okay, well, let me
it's a
stop you
little,
right. Let me stop you
yeah.
right here. Let me stop you right here. What country?
South Korea.
Okay, you're not going to get married.
Yeah, I know. So I've already taken the steps to leave
Yeah,
because by now it.
because what? Okay, ladies, let me talk past you, so it's not so important. A lot of women say they want to be married, but look, you have to be. If you're a black woman, you want to get married. There are only a handful. There are only a few cities you should be living in
Mhm.
where there are black men that are heavily concentrated. You don't get. And that's one of the issues that so many women want men, but then you're not living where the kind of man you want is. You have to be in proximity, and you have to know that you are ready to be picked. That's the whole thing. That's why I'm asking these questions. I'm not saying you are or you
Yeah.
aren't, but if you're ready to
Mhm.
be, and that's why I say if you're a wife, you wouldn't be in South Korea. You'd be around some black folk if you want to marry a black man.
That's true.
That's what it comes right down to. Women who are wives aren't worried about their jobs, their careers. They are worried about man, family, and everything else. So, one way
Mhm.
or another, the answer comes out based however we get there. You may want it, but are you really ready for it? There you go.
Mm.
All
Okay.
right. All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Bye
Have
bye.
a
And
good
see,
day.
and
Bye.
a lot of women aren't comfortable answering questions because they think that because a lot of women think, well, I'm doing better than I was, but yeah, but you're still far off. It's like you're doing better than you were, but why are you living? In particular, if you want to be married, especially as a black woman, you want to be married to a black man. If you're not living in an international city, what are you doing? If you don't have a lot of black, if you don't have a significant black male population, that's what made Average at Best so interesting. Is like, well, there ain't no real high value men in South that part of Carolina or whatever. Your audio is not connected, ma'am. She's over here just cooking, doing what she's doing. She's just, your audio's not connected.
In this video, Kevin is talking to men exclusively. I let him have the full platform. I have nothing to say. I think if one listens carefully to his words, he's giving a lot of truth bombs to young men, maybe even older men. The point is, he's talking to men. As a woman, I don't really have much to contribute. Right at the end, a nice woman comes on and they discuss a particular topic. Actually, her own personal life is not bad. She's followed his advice and she finds that she's well on the way. I think she's well on the way to finding a good man one day. She just needs to change her location, perhaps a little bit of her outlook on life, and I think things will work out well for her. So my commentary is rather short this time. That's good news, according to popular vote. Anyway, I wish you peace, happiness, harmony, and grace. Until next time.